What's going on, guys? Today we're going to talk about everything barcodes related. So Amazon barcodes, how this all works, how to get them, what things to look out for, what mistakes to not make, that way you don't get error codes within Amazon, as well as making sure you get the FNSKUs, the Amazon barcodes, to give to your manufacturer. All right, guys, let's not waste any more time. Let's just hop to my screen and I'll go through a full tutorial on everything you need to know about barcodes. All right, guys, hop into my screen here. We made a complete PDF guide, so a full tutorial on everything you need to know about barcodes. Okay, we'll make sure this is available for you guys down below. Just make sure you guys subscribe, because this tells me, I can see my metrics in the back end here. If you guys subscribe, it just tells me that I'm doing good here, making these guides, making them available for you. So if you guys subscribe, that'll give me a metric saying that make more of these guides, make more of these guides available. That way you guys can have them. Make sure you guys don't make any mistakes, get there 10 times faster, don't waste money, everything like that. Okay, so let's just start step by step here. I'll tell you exactly how to get them, everything you need to know here, mistakes to look out for, but we got to start with the foundation here first. So GTIN, so this is the first kind of barcode explanation, and all this is a global trade item number. Okay, so simply put, GTIN is an umbrella term used to describe barcodes. On Amazon, GTNs are effectively the same as a UPC, so we'll get into UPCs as well, along with FNSKUs, again, ASINs, everything like that here. We just need to know the basics that way, because there's a lot of little pieces in this process, and if we don't understand like the first steps, we can't really understand the last steps. So I want to explain to you how this all works step by step here. So just know that GTINs are essentially UPC codes. That's all you really need to know. Essentially, we can use these just like UPCs. Okay, so UPCs are something you probably already heard of. G10s maybe not. So don't get too caught up in this lingo here per se. But UPC is the one you probably need to know. Okay, so UPC stands for Universal Product Code. UPCs are used in the United States and Canada, and this is most common option I use personally for listing products on Amazon. So when you go into a Walmart, a store, a mall shop, anything like that, just pick a random product off the shelf there. They have a UPC code. So this is a code they use to track inventory, make sure it's not counterfeit, everything like this. So we need one of these, okay? And we can pretty much say GTIN, again, UPC, same thing. Again, I'll show you what that looks like here on the back end here in a bit. But UPCs are what we need to register on Amazon. Okay, so this is not an Amazon barcode. This is a universal product code. So when we go list a product on Amazon, we need this to tell Amazon we're real, we're legit. And I'll show you how to get one of these here very soon. But essentially, we need this to get on Amazon, okay? And then we'll get into Amazon barcodes. So just think of this as barrier of entry, or what you need to entry into Amazon, okay? And then Amazon will be like, oh, he's a real product, she has a real product, whatever it is, and they'll spit you out an FNSKU, which is an Amazon barcode, and that's what goes on our packaging, okay? So that goes to the manufacturer. That's what needs to be on it when we ship into Amazon. Again, we'll get to that here in a second. Just want to be thorough here. So EAN here is a European article number. Just think of it as a UPC for Europe. Okay, so if you're in the Europe market, this is probably what you're going to be using. Doesn't mean you can't use a GS1 UPC code or a G10, anything like that. You can actually use these interchangeably on Amazon. So you'll see this when you go to register a product. You can switch between a G10, a UPC. Again, these are pretty much the same thing, so don't worry about that. The way we show you how to get these UPCs, you'll have both options, so you can use them interchangeably here, okay? ISBN, this is for books, so if you're reselling books, this is what you're gonna need. And every book you have there will have this on the front or the back or maybe the first page. So you'll be good there. You'll know exactly what you're doing there when you're reselling books. Same thing with like retail arbitrage, online arbitrage. They all have a UPC on them. You'll use that to list your product on there. But if we're doing private labels, so branding your own products, getting a product from a manufacturer in China, putting it on Amazon for the first time, we'll need to get our own UPC code, okay? Which again, I'll show you here. Sound like a broken record. But FNSKU here, Fulfillment Network Stock Keeping Unit. So this is what we need to give to our manufacturer to put our inventory into Amazon. Okay, so just to be thorough here, FNSKUs are generated by Amazon and used to identify items and products entering Amazon's FBA warehouse. FNSKUs are used to track identity, inventory within the Amazon ecosystem. You can provide your supplier with a product's FNSKU before being shipped into the warehouse. Okay, so all you need to know here is that Amazon, once you register a product on Amazon, they're going to give this to you, okay? And this will go on your item. Essentially, this is just a number they use. Instead of the UPC, they use something a little different. Why? Because they want to track the seller as well as the product. The FNSKU allows them to do that. Okay, so think of it that this is actually a good thing for us. Okay, this is why. Because say there's a counterfeit seller on your listing or a hijacker, okay? You guys will have two different FNSKUs because they're two different sellers, but you have the same item. If they just use UPCs, the general universal product code, okay, you guys would have the same UPCs most likely. Okay, so if we can track the seller, we can identify that seller and kick them off or boot them off or know that they're ones that are doing the counterfeiting, okay? And it separates the real seller from the fake sellers in that circumstance, okay? Now, this is what we'll give to our manufacturers, and we'll show you how to get this here too. ASIN is Amazon Standard Identification Number. So this just refers to the product. So if we go to a product listing, this just refers to the product, not the seller. So, you know, multiple people can sell the same ASIN. Think of Charmin toilet paper, same UPC, same ASIN, 40 different sellers on that product. That's more of a wholesale model thing there. But essentially, it determines what the product is, not the actual seller to it. So when you go to a product page, you can find the ASIN, and that's how you can kind of refer to products here, where the FNSKU is going on the barcode, going on the actual product. So know the difference there is that ASINs are just for products. FNSKUs are actually barcodes that you put on your products to sell. Okay. Okay. So which one do we use when we list a product on Amazon? Okay. I personally use UPC every time, but you see the option up here, G10. When you get a barcode, the way I'm going to tell you to barcode, the best way to get a barcode, you'll actually get UPC and a G10. You can use either one. I just like to make it simple, UPC. That way it's clean, right? So if you're doing private label, get a GS1 UPC, which I'll show you here in a second. If you're doing like wholesale or retail arbitrage, just use the UPC already on the product and just put that into Amazon's system. And just to go into an Amazon account to show you guys a little further what I mean here. If we go to catalog, add products here. Okay, so if you're doing retail arbitrage, wholesale, online arbitrage, just grab the UPC here, okay, from the back end, or even a book, right? The ISBN. Grab the code on the back, whatever it is, right? Put that in here, and you're gonna list underneath that existing listing already, okay? But if we're doing private label, this is what I mostly do, okay? You know, starting our own product, getting a manufacturer from China, putting our own brand name on it, or even putting it as generic. What we're gonna do is hit, I'm adding a product not sold on Amazon, okay? So if we click into here, we just hit restore here, just to be easy, just a product listing I was doing earlier. And we see right here, external product ID, okay? So we can select in here. I know my face is most likely blocking a couple of these. Nope, actually we're good. So we see ASIN, EAN, so it's the European one, G10, Minisan, and UPC. Okay, we're gonna hit UPC. Okay, where we're gonna get these UPCs, if you're doing private label, is GS1.org, US. They have different ones globally, UK, Canada, wherever you wanna get them. I just get them to the US because that's where I'm selling at. Just makes it clean. Doesn't mean if you get a UK one, you can't use it in America or the US. You can use these in, if you get a GS1 barcode pretty much from any country, you can register on any Amazon selling market. You're fine there, okay? So we see here, each barcode is $30 here. We can get a 10 pack for $250 with some annual fees. When you start selling a bunch of private label items, you'll need this, unfortunately, but we can get one just singly without an annual fee for $30 here. So you register right here to go ahead and get your UPC. You'll actually get both a UPC and a G10. Again, just use the UPC just to make it easy, right? Simple, just UPC. You don't need to mess with the G10s here. So you could just use the UPC, make it simple there. Obviously you need more info on actually making a product listing. Just type in Cameron James, Amazon FBA, list your product on YouTube, and you'll find a full tutorial there. So hopefully that makes sense. What I'm talking about here, guys, is that use UPC for existing products and then do exactly what I just talked about for private label products here. So just like I listed here for private label products, I'm effectively the manufacturer, meaning I have to supply my own UPC for that listing, which can be purchased at gs1us.org. And of course, we'll put links in here for you guys if you guys grab this PDF. Okay. The main exception here is when you're selling books, in which case you'll choose the ISBN, which I talked about. Pretty straightforward if you're reselling books there. So how to get a UPC code. We just talked about this on GS1. Make sure you guys use GS1 here because you can actually get these error codes if you're not using GS1 because your brand name will not match up. So you might be asking me right now, like, why can't we just use nationwide barcodes? It's cheaper. It's like $5 a barcode, or, you know, any Barcodes Mania. Well, this is not tied to GS1's database. Okay, so we can see in the fine print here that Amazon actually pulls all of its data from the GS1 database. Okay, and if we use recycled barcodes, then there's gonna be another brand name attached to that barcode. Amazon's gonna give us an error. So that's why we need to just do the official one. Go to GS1US.org or whatever GS1 you want to go to and make sure you register there. Just know if you're going to make your product listing right after you get the barcode, it can take 24 to 48 hours for Amazon to pull the data from GS1. But that's where Amazon's getting its data on the back end, is from GS1. So we need to be compliant there, or else we could have error codes. And then eventually, if we do get through with that recycled barcode, we could have nightmares later on where Amazon can take the listing down, someone can take it over, all this crazy stuff here. So just do GS1, make sure you do it right, especially if it's a product you want to sell long-term, which I hope we're trying to do, especially in the private label end of things, okay? So don't be using recycled barcodes. Get it from GS1, guys. I know it sucks to pay, $30 a barcode there and then the annual fees if you need more than one, but it's just, you have to do this to make sure everything goes smoothly. We know when we have issues with Amazon, it just makes it so much more difficult to fix these things later on than just to do it right the first time. Okay. So next, how many UPCs do I need to get? Okay. So this is very important to know. I get this question all the time. So you need a different UPC for every type of product you have. Okay, and this includes variations. Okay, so we made this nice graphic for you guys. So if we have, say we're selling t-shirts here, right? We have 3 sizes, we have 3 colors and 3 styles here, right? That is 27 different types of products, right? So we have, small green V-neck here, small green, not V-neck here, small green collared shirt here, essentially, right? And we do that for all the sizes and all the colors. We have 27 UPCs here. Okay, so we actually need 27 different UPCs. So this should be going into your thinking if you're going to go into fashion, things like that. That's why I'm not a big fan of fashion right away, because you need so many different products to make sure your product line, with small, medium, large, different colors to actually compete, that you're stuck with 27 UPCs. That's kind of messy. That's a lot for your first product. Okay. Same thing here. If we have 4 bottle sizes, 5 different flavors, that's 20 UPCs. So these are extreme versions, but just say you had a green shirt here, small, medium, small, medium. I don't know why we just didn't make that large there, but small, medium, extra large, green, that's 3. So we need 3 different UPCs for each variation of the product. You need to know that, because when you go to list your product, you'll need to put in a new UPC for every variation. And again, guys, if you're getting confused on how to input those variations, just search Cameron James. List your product on Amazon, go through that tutorial. I'll show you exactly how to do that, where the UPCs go. But I just want to make it clear, for every variation of your product, you need another new UPC. Okay. FAQs, guys. Do I need an FNSKU for Amazon FBM? So if you're doing fulfilled by merchant, which just means that you're shipping the product from home, FBA is fulfillment by Amazon. That means we're sending the products into Amazon, which is what I do 100% of the time. But again, for people doing FBM, do you need an FNSKU? The short answer is no, because they don't pass through Amazon's warehouses, so you don't need an FNSKU on your product. I'll show you how to get an FNSKU here in a second. Will a GS1 barcode work outside North America? Yes. Okay. This will work for any Amazon marketplace. Do you recommend purchasing barcodes from third-party sites such as Nationwide Barcode? I previously used barcodes from the site and don't recommend it for the reasons I talked about earlier. Will the GS1 barcode get rid of error code 5665? If you guys know what that is, essentially it's just a brand approval error. And I have a whole video on that. Just go through Cameron James how to get brand approval on YouTube. But essentially all that is to make sure we can list our product as a brand and not generic, which is very, very important here when you list your product. So make sure you go through that if you need help with that. So after you list your product, you can see your product and manage inventory. Then you go over to this edit button, hit the drop down, print item labels. Okay. And then we can get the FNSKU here. Okay. So we can actually print these item labels right here. They're going to get in a PDF form, and you're going to give that to your manufacturer to put in your packaging, or your designer. If you're having this custom made, they can just pop this bad boy onto the product packaging or the product itself, whether it's sticker, printing, whatever, and you'll be good to go there for your manufacturer. So that's what you actually need to get your product into Amazon. Okay. So remember this, guys, UPC is to get your product onto Amazon. And then the FNSKU is what you get when your product is on Amazon. And that's what goes to your manufacturer. That's what goes on your packaging to send into Amazon. All right, guys, I know that's a lot of nitty gritty details here, but hopefully that was helpful. If you guys want the PDF guide to make sure you can always refer back to something later, just give me a comment down below. We'll make sure to get you the download link for that, as well as make sure you guys subscribe tells me that these guides are helpful, these videos are helpful, and that way I keep making more of them. Otherwise, guys, we'll see you on the next one. Have a great day.